You put me on child support, that is you telling these people that you don't think that I am a good enough father to do what I'm supposed to. So by law, all I will do is exactly what you told these folks that you think that I wouldn't do.
I will.
I'm going to pay you your money. Good luck with the kids.
I'll let you know. I'll let the money raise the kids.
Do you want?
If you end up on child support and this is the mindset that you have, you're proving why you ended up on child support in the first place. You were already the type of man who would willfully abandon his responsibility. Before you even had children, you were already that type of man. That was already a part of your character. You ended up on child support because you are that type of man. And the irony of it all is a man that's truly a good father. Because the man in the video says, if I'm a good father and you put me on child support, good luck raising them kids. The irony. Because a good father wouldn't even have the thought, the mindset, the concept, the hypothetical, the ability to willfully abandon his children. And the scary thing about these takes is they're so emotional and irrational. This proves how pride makes you blind and irrational, because as you're walking and talking through your thoughts, not one time do you trip over the truth. Not one time does a light bulb go off and you say, oh, as I'm walking and talking through this actually don't make sense.
She's right and wrong at the same exact time. First, let's go on where she's right at. For a father to just leave his child, you can have the argument that this person was already capable of doing that. Because typically, if a man really wants to take care of his children, he'll do it by any means necessary. However, what she goes wrong at is by any means necessary technically has a limit mentally. But the man that doesn't want to take care of his kids, and he said, I would take care of my kids, but you put me on child support, she automatically assumes that women are perfect. She automatically assumes that if a man is on child support, women are so perfect that the only reason why a woman would put a man on child support is solely because he's the type of person to not take care of his responsibilities. That is absolutely wrong. His point of view, you have to feel exactly what he's really trying to say. What is he really feeling inside of his heart? Because she said that he was emotional when he said it. Yes, he is emotional when he said it. So what is he feeling? That feeling that man is feeling is, I can do everything right and still be punished. If I'm going to do everything right and still be punished, I would just take the punishment and not do anything else right, because it takes work to do something right. So not only are you're basically not even paying the child support. This is where he's coming from his angle. You're just paying the mother. You're just paying her to torment you. And then while she torments you, if you are paying her child support, she's likely the sole custody. She likely has sole custody of the kid. So therefore, she dictates on when and where you see your kid, how you see your kid. She basically can make your life a living hell. So it's deeper than just the child support. From his angle, it's like, if I'm going to be paying child support and the woman goes to court and basically tells people that I cannot do whatever I got to do. You took me to court for a reason. And if I'm not doing anything, then it will be no change, technically, right? It's nothing to argue about, because you said that I don't take care of my kid. Okay. You saying that being that I don't take care of my kid, you need the money. Okay. I give you the money. You have no more complaints. You can no longer say you don't take care of your kid, because that's the reason why you put me on child support, right? But he knows deep down in his heart that is not the reason why she put him on child support, because she knows that he takes care of his child, or he would take care of his child. She just want to put him on child support to be spiteful. I've seen too many situations. I've spoken to too many men that way, and women that actually do that on purpose. It has nothing to do with that. The countless amount of stories that I can speak on about men being on child support, good men, it's just that they wasn't good to her in a relationship. Some men were even good to the woman in a relationship, and she still put him on child support just to be spiteful. I'm talking about women that have slept with his brothers and his friends. And her sleeping with his brother and his friends, he starts to move on. She has a problem with him moving on, so she put him on child support because he think he about to go somewhere else. So basically, she can sleep with his friends and his family, and he has to basically just take that. And if he doesn't take that, then she's going to ruin his life. And she'll do it by stuff that he cares about. Typically, it seems as if a man doesn't take care of his kid, or is not the type of person just, do anything with his life, those are the guys that don't really get the child support. The women like, I don't want to deal with him. But the guys that would and want to take care of the kids and want to pick up their kids, that's the ones that get the shitstorm. That's what brings them to the courthouse. So she's right and she's wrong on some aspects, but we can dig a little bit deeper.
I actually see the flaw and the error in my ways, because I don't know about y'all, but when I actually walk through my thoughts and unpack my thoughts with myself, I will stumble over some truth and be like, oh, wait, actually, now that I unpack this is actually pride. This is actually irrational. This is actually emotional. And now one time, that's the scary thing about pride. It makes you so irrational and you're blind to it, that you think you're wise. The Bible tells us a man who is wise in his own eyes, there's more hope for a fool than him. This is like such a profound demonstration of that scripture. And
If that was the case, then they both equal at that point. The man and the woman is equal at that point, right? Because she would have to have pride in order to do that, to put him on child support. It's basically just a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's basically self-serving for the woman to do that, if he actually is going to take care of his kid. The question is, at what point does a man say enough? That's the problem we have in here. At what point can a man say, no, you can't just do as you feel with me when you feel like? So when he says, all right, if I'm going to pay you the child support and I'm just going to back out your way, that's that man basically being defeated. You can't be taking, it doesn't even make sense. It doesn't make sense for me to pay you to take care of the kid, and then you keep that money, and then I have to take care of the kid. In other words, 75% of this kid's well-being is on me, right? Because if you want to split the kid and want the man to be a dad, that's 50-50. You pay for the kid, I pay for the kid. But if I'm doing that and paying you, that's 75% me and basically 25% you. But when it comes to the decisions for the kid, or who has the kid the most, or whatever that is, it's basically just the woman. So basically the guy is just financing and doing as she says. She basically want a slave. And at some point, men are going to be like, no, I'm not doing that. Allow me to have my kid. Allow me to take care of my kid. When the women like this speak, they're speaking in the aspect of men are just bad, men are wrong. However, they never look at the women as spiteful, because it didn't even cross her head that he's actually a father that actually will want to take care of his kid. But women are spiteful, and then they're not physically stronger than you in mass. So therefore, they would have to get at you in a different way. And usually women show aggression through words, or they'll get somebody else to do their bidding for them. In this case, it will be the court system. So they can go to the court system and say whatever they want to say and have them take care of you and ruin your life. So it's about proxy. They'll hurt you through somebody else. And if they're doing that, this woman doesn't understand that happened. And then at what point should a man say, enough? I can't take that anymore. She would rather you pull your hair out yourself. No, you have to do it because it's your kid. Well, it's the woman's kid as well. She should have to want to give that kid to the father, because statistically, that's one of the best options, to have him there. So you can't say you want him there and then torment him so he won't be there. And every time he tried to be there, you try to make it difficult for him. At this point, men are just saying, no, I'm good. The court is already going to get me. I'm going to pay you the child support that you wanted, that I would have paid for the kid anyway. But you didn't want that. And once again, if he was the type of man to not pay child support, he wasn't a man to not take care of the kid, then her life is no different, right? If him saying that, all right, I'm gonna just give you the kid, and I'm gonna just give you the money. If he was the man to do that anyway, then she don't have a problem, right? Back to normal. All right, now she got money, and that's it. But it's not like that. The reason why he's saying that, and the reason why women will take that, like, oh, you're not gonna take care of your kid after I put you on child support, doesn't even make sense. It's counterintuitive, right?
And the sad part is punishing your kid. You looking your kid in the eye basically and saying, I'm not gonna spend time with you, I'm not gonna play with you, I'm not gonna teach you how to ride a bike, I'm not gonna teach you life skills, morals, principles, because your mom put me on child support and I didn't like that. And I'm so mad. I'm so emotional. My pride is so hurt that I could care less about raising you. It's irrational. It's the same as I've seen women who say, if he asked me for a DNA test, he might as well kiss that kid goodbye. He's not gonna see my child. That's stupid. You're emotional. You feel some type of way. Get out of it. Get over it.
And that proves the point right then and there. If a guy is going child support and a woman places a man on child support, if he doesn't want to take care of the kid, then you can't say that this man was the type of person that wouldn't take care of the kid before she did that. I don't think he's doing it solely off just spite. And that's not to say that this does not happen. Of course, there are men that just off spite, oh, she did this, so I'm going to do this. And you want to play this tit for tat game. But this is not what I'm speaking on. I'm speaking on the countless amount of men that actually want to be a part of their kids' lives, but the women make it hell for them. And if the women make it hell for him, then what's the point? And it doesn't matter how much you want to teach your kid how to ride a bike, how much you want to cook for them, how much you want to be around them and take care of it. It don't matter. It's dictated by the woman. And if it's dictated by the woman and you have to pay her, so you're basically paying for a slave owner for her to dictate it. If a man should want to be in his kid's life, a woman should want the man to be in his kid's life. A woman should not be putting man on child support that's actually in his kid's life, because that's counter. It doesn't make sense, everything that she's saying. If you put it all in a nutshell and you really think about it, if the man is rational enough and say, I want to be in my kid life, no matter what, I want to take care of them, I want to teach them how to ride a bike, I want to take them to school, I want to do everything for the kid, then why is he on child support? You see how that don't make sense? And then she'll go back and say that the man is on child support because he wouldn't do that. Okay. So it has nothing to do with him being on child support, right? Because he was going to do it anyway.